You working all day till 5?
Probably disappear and go
Lunch.
late.
Late. Yeah. Yeah. If they, just give them my number and tell them to call me if they got any questions.
Oh my.
Hello.
In the mic, please.
Hello.
Okay.
Test.
There we go. Thank you. That's my mistake. It's that. I will fix that.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the East Dubuque City Council meeting. It's Monday, June 19th. I ask that you please turn off all cell phones during the meeting and please be quiet during discussions. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Twenty-three 0613, call to order.
Falcon.
Here.
Bergmeyer.
Here.
Dagenhart.
Here.
Mayor Digman.
Here.
Fleur.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Roby.
Here.
Attorney Hess.
Item 23 0614, staff reports. City manager's report. I'll pinch hit tonight. Public notice, the City of East Dubuque fiscal year 2024 budget, which has been available for public inspection, has been sent to Angela Kaiser and approved. And then the second public notice would be for the July meeting dates, which are going to be July 10th and July 24th. So basically, they're moved one week back. That's it for the city manager's report. Mayor's report, Independence Day celebration. The Edge Foundation, in conjunction with the Lions Club, will be holding the East Dubuque, Illinois Independence Day celebration Saturday, July 1st, 5:30 to 11 p.m. on the 200 block of Cincinema. The street will be closed from 5 p.m. from Highway 35 to Montgomery. So Montgomery will be open. People will just have to go around the back way, but we're not going to close off the hill. There's going to be free inflatable rides from 5:30 to 9:30. We're going to have Kramer's Meat Paddles from 6 to 10, live music from 7 to 10, and then the fireworks will be at 10 o'clock that night. So as far as like the beverages and stuff, it'll all be go into the bars, similar to the car show. So there's not going to be like a beer tent or anything like that. So yes.
Where are they shooting them off at?
Up on the hill. Yep.
Up by us, right?
Yep.
Stewart's property.
There you go. Any questions on that at all? All right. Alderperson report. Belkin.
Yeah, just one quick question. Mark, what did you anchor the boat dock in with down there?
We got it cabled off to the eye loops that when they installed the ramp itself, they're embedded right into the concrete. It's just there. It's not all the way in, but it's usable.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Bergmeyer.
Yeah, I had a couple phone calls complaining about the intersection of Clarendon and Montgomery. When cars park on both sides of the streets, it's only down to one lane. I know the Messina lives in the one house, but I'm not sure who lives in the other house. But even when I came down here today, it was 3 on one side, 2 on the other side. And they wanted to know if we could put no parking signs on one side. And I said, I couldn't answer that. I don't know. And Mark might not answer it either, but we'd have to take a look at it. And I don't know. So,
Well, we can take a look at that.
yep, that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Degenhardt.
I don't have anything this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Fleur.
Yeah, I think the boat ramp down there looks pretty good. I mean, they cleaned it up nice, and another thing is, where's the city manager been? I haven't seen him in at least 2 meetings. Anyway, you know?
He's been ill.
Oh, that's all I got.
Thank you. Meyer.
I don't have anything.
Thank you. Roby.
Yeah, just one thing. I've gotten a lot of complaint on street storage, cars that aren't being moved. Forgot my notes, but I know one was Wisconsin, one was Montgomery, Menominee, and I think the other one was Sydney Street. So if we could just have someone look at that and kind of keep track.
Sure. All right, move on. City Attorney House.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Chief Kavasik. Thank you. Public Works Director Fleur.
Just a couple things. One is we did finally get the street sweeper in, so they've been using it, so very good addition to the streets. So, secondly, I gave you as a handout there. Last week, well number 1 went down on us. We had A&G Electric here. At first, we thought it was a breaker. They put a new breaker in, and the well tripped out again. He followed it all the way out to he thought was a pump. So we end up with Larry Lyons coming up, doing some checking, and Larry said it has to come out. He thought he could save the pump, but after he got it down to his shop and was taken apart, it's shot. There's nothing that can be done with it. The casing itself, you guys, I know if you come down the hill, you can see it laying there. That is also shot. He wants to, I think this week, come back and do a little more investigating on it. But right now, he's thinking everything leads to electrical problem. So what he's suggesting is, we definitely need a new pump and a casing. He's suggesting to go with stainless steel. It's going to be a little more expensive, but it's going to be a necessary thing, he figures. So the numbers are in front of you. It's not going to be cheap by no means. And If anybody has any questions, you can feel free. But this is something that's gonna have to get done. This is, one of our major wells. This is the one that, we put in, I don't know, probably around 15 years ago. Little history on it, they said we either have to cap it or get it back in service. It was cheaper to put it back in service. So they worked on it for, a good year and got it back in service, and, this is where we're at today, though. So,
Mark, does any of our other wells, do they have the stainless steel in them? Do you know?
no. But they're not as
They're
deep as
old,
this
yeah.
well either,
This is the deepest well in East Dubuque, is it
Yes,
not?
it is. Yep.
Yeah, stainless is a great idea.
Looking 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah,
middle of July.
yep.
Okay.
I mean, it's something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we, alternatives?
There is no,
Used to be the best water in town, that well.
okay, well, I appreciate the update on that.
Okay.
Fire Chief Heim? Thank you. 23-0615, speakers from the floor. Unnoted. All right. 23-0616, consent agenda. Need a motion?
Still moved.
Second,
Second.
Randy.
Roll call?
Belkin,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
and Roby.
Aye.
All right, move on to new business. 23-0617, presentation and discussion of current city projects by Mark Rudin of Origin Design.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. How's everybody doing?
Good.
So I just kind of want to go down and touch on some of the projects here that are on the list. You guys should all have the projects update printed out or in front of you. You guys all have that document? Okay. So you guys notice you got the water tower completely coated and the logo on it. It looks really nice up there, and you might be wondering when it's going to be able to come online, right? I just talked to Caldwell Tanks here today, and all the internal tower electrical components and SCADA have been installed in the tower. Joe Carroll Electric is in the process of installing the pole top transformer and the power drop for the electrical service for the tower. The plumbers are tying in the new water mains to the tower starting this week. They're gonna be tying the tower into the mains. Looks like the water tower work will interfere with the electrical underground service feeder to the tower, so the electrical subcontractor will finish their work the week of June 26th. Complete the outside work of the tower. They're trying to schedule the cathodic protection system for the tower. So with all of this being said, and with the 4th of July holiday week, we're hoping for July 10th to start the disinfection process. So be able to disinfect the tank so that you can begin filling it. We're also in coordination with Mark and his team, and to get the pressure reducing valves all adjusted properly for bringing the tower onto pressure and the whole system onto pressure. So we've got quite a bit of coordination to do, but we're doing all the communication that needs to happen to see that through. So things are moving along nicely on the project. The distribution portion of the project, there's a couple of punch list items that have to be dealt with. It'll be carried out as somewhat of a warranty issue. I talked to Bobby from Louis Trenching today, and we're gonna go take a look at the seeding and the topsoil work that was done on DeSoto. It's a little bit lacking there. We've had some complaints on it. I brought it to Bobby's attention, and we're gonna go take a look at it. So I anticipate him working with us to get that corrected properly. So that, the thing is, to try to do any sort of seeding right now in this blazing heat and no water, probably not gonna be very effective. So I may recommend that when he does do the warranty work, it would be during the fall seeding season so that it actually takes well. So, just so everybody understands that. So the wastewater collection system extension project, the city, last time I was here, we talked about, there was a question about possibly the loan being forfeited. Well, there's been a 24-month extension granted on that. And what that takes you to is roughly September 2025. I don't have the exact dates, but I believe it's September 2025 is now the target date to have that work completed. So the next steps are really to have a meeting with some of the residents up there to talk about easements that we don't have agreement on or we didn't get responses on, and then move forward with the design. And this first phase of the project that we're going to be utilizing your $2.22 million grant for would be somewhat of the western half of the original project area, and that would be served by gravity. That'd be more to the liking of, it's gonna be easier to maintain for Mark and better for some of the residents up there that had some comments about the low pressure sewer system. Some more good news that we've heard recently is that the lead service line replacement project is going to be 100% forgivable funding on that. So that is really some good news for the city of East Dubuque. You're looking at roughly $500,000 for that project for what we have. I think there's, 67 services, is that what it is? I believe so, yeah. Something along those lines. Lead service lines to be replaced, and it's, when I say 100% forgiven, that's essentially like 100% grant. You know, you'd have to take out the loan for it, but then they forgive you 100% of the loan. So it's really a great thing for the community. So being proactive and going after that was really a good move. Remembrance Park, conceptual design has been submitted to the city and the committee for comment. Next steps are to receive feedback about the layout, make necessary revisions, and prepare estimates of probable construction cost after all the property needed has been acquired. The rental lane roadway design, that's been submitted to the Illinois DOT for comment. Gramercy Park, I know they're looking at ways to submit an application on that. That's gonna give you a good chance for funding of that project. So that one's somewhat a holding pattern until you reapply for the grant. Water system improvements project plan. So we had submitted a multi-phase project plan for water system improvements in the city of East Dubuque. That plan has been submitted and approved by the EPA. You know, the timeline for these projects to take place is really just gonna kind of go by how the funding comes through for these, and kind of preparing with the city on how you're able to support it from a city side, and also with the EPA and the forgiveness that they give you as a part of the water and sewer projects that take place. The Oxford Street water main and roadway reconstruction. So design is underway for the project. We're working on completing a facility plan to assist in securing funding through the EPA for the sanitary sewer associated with the project. Construction is planned to take place in 2024. So the water side of that project, the facility plan has already been submitted. Things we don't know right now is what sort of forgivable percentage the EPA will grant on that, or what sort of cap there will be associated with that forgivable percentage. We do know for the sewer portion of it that we're submitting on, it's gonna be 45% forgivable, and not sure of the cap yet on what you can max out on. But these are really important parts of funding projects like this because it not only funds the water and the sewer, it also funds portions of the replacement of the pavement and any of the surface items too. So it's really important to move forward on these and maximize your forgiveness so that you're maximizing the amount of money that's going to be contributed by the EPA on these projects as opposed to city sources. The East Dubuque MS4 Stormwater Management Plan. As you guys all know, NOAA came the last council meeting I was at anyway. I don't know if you've had one since then, to report to you guys about that project. That report was submitted by the June 1st deadline, so everything's as it should be for that project. The IDNR Stormwater Improvements Project. Origin Design and the city have been in communication with the IDNR, who is performing a drainage basin analysis for the city of East Dubuque. They intend to present their findings to the city in the next few months, and Origin Design will continue to coordinate with the state as they request data from the city. Does everybody know what this refers to? It's the Wisconsin Avenue Drainage Basin.
Okay.
All that water that comes down there on your major storm events, effectively, dealing with that through possible drainage basins, maybe multiple detention basins strategically placed in that drainage area. The good thing about it, since you've got the DNR's eye on this and they're actually doing the study, if they support a project there, they're going to fund it to a very substantial level. So that's the whole reason we're kind of seeing this through. It'd be a very good project for the city. Next one is the Southeast Industrial Park Utility Extension. This project consists of extending water and sewer utilities to TNT Metals and Tracy Exports. The city has previously applied for a Rebuild Illinois grant to fund the utility extension. And we don't have an update on what's going on with the award of that grant. So when we hear more, we'll report more to the city on that. I'll make a special note on that one because that's been hanging out there so long to reach out to Jill Pepin from CFPS and just find out what's going on with it. Are they going to award it, or is there any sort of a time frame for when you might hear more on that? The East Dubuque Fire Station. So the design of the proposed fire station project is complete and it's ready for bidding. The idea is, the goals is to initiate bidding this summer with an award in late summer or early fall, but there's certain things that need to happen for this to go forward, and that is to get a financial feasibility report submitted. I think, Sue, you're probably working with Loris to put that together. Sue's still here? We are, I'm still here. Okay. So that's going to be a real important thing to get submitted. Once that's submitted, then the USDA can kind of let us know what the timeline would be for moving forward on that project. But the reason we really want to keep this moving is that I think on October 1st, the USDA loan interest rates are adjusted, and we would see those rates likely going up. So that's why it's very important to keep that part of the project moving forward. City of East Dubuque Police Station, that project's on hold at this time. Kind of decided early on to do these one at a time as far as the fire station and police station. It makes sense to do that to kind of understand financially, what the cities get into on these projects. The 19th hole area utility service. So Origin Design is working with city staff to conceptually serve the area around the 19th hole with water and sanitary sewer based on a citizen inquiry. So we continue to do that coordination with the city there, and we'll make sure that we're kind of spearheading that and it's all moving forward in the right direction. Miscellaneous projects. Origin Design is working with the city on potential residential development opportunities. That's pretty much self-explanatory there. And the City of East Dubuque standard specifications. I should be on the agenda for July 10th to come talk about standard specifications and talk to the council here about adopting the standard specifications. These standard specifications are for water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and paving. The reason it's important to have these standard specifications really kind of goes back to the previous item here with the miscellaneous projects. You know, as the city's approached by developers or landowners or people that want to bring development to the community, it's important for them to understand what the city's expectations are for how they construct these improvements. You know, we want to make sure that they're following a standard, everybody's doing it the same way, and they can really understand, you know, both on their side and for the city, you know, exactly what the financial commitment is to make these improvements. So, does anybody have any questions? I know there's a lot there. You've got a lot going on. And I just want to let any of the council know, or, you know, anytime you want to call me, talk about the status of these projects, or maybe you have a citizen inquiry, my phone's always on during business hours or after to talk about these things. So be happy to talk about these projects more.
So pretty much is just the Indian Hills project going on and the water tower, right? For right now, I mean.
Well, that and the Oxford Street water main is,
That might be this year yet?
well, it's gonna be 2024.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, but, you know, definitely the water tower project is front and center, you know, getting that on, getting it online. And then really, you know, the Indian Hills, we need to have a few things take place before we really take off on the design on that. Once we get through that, the discussions with some of the property owners there, then we can confidently move forward with the work. So,
okay.
Thank you, Mark.
you bet.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Mark.
Do you need me to stick around for any other agenda items tonight?
Nope.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 23-0618, discussion and possible action to approve an amendment to the ordinance keeping of certain animals restricted in the city of East Dubuque. In your packets, basically, what was changed was the chickens were gonna be 5 at a limit, and there's gonna be no roosters. Hens only, so that's the gist of the changes.
I'll make a motion to amend.
Second.
Roll call?
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Belkin.
Aye.
23-0619, discussion and possible action to approve an amendment to the ordinance of persons ineligible for license in the city of East Dubuque. Basically, what this is, we're cleaning up some of the ordinances. This one pertains to the liquor license holder having to reside in the city or have a manager reside within the city limits. Currently, it's set up that way where they have to have if they do not reside in the city, they have to have a manager that resides within the city limits. And most owners want to be the person called. You know, some of these ordinances are outdated, so we were looking at changing that, removing that line out of there altogether, is what this is.
Motion's approved.
Seconded.
Roll call?
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Belkin,
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
23-0620, executive session for personnel matters. Need roll call?
Need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Fleur,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Belkin,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart.
You better run. You better run.
Why am I running?
Oh, you're lucky Terry's not here because he usually has to go right before we go.
23-0621, discussion and possible action on matters discussed in executive session in the city of East Dubuque. I need a motion to authorize the mayor and assistant, or the city attorney Hess to act on what was discussed in
Second.
roll call.
Roby,
Aye.
Belkin,
Aye.
Burgmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Fleur,
Aye.
and Meyer.
23-0622, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Belkin,
Aye.
Burgmeyer,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Fleur, Meyer,
Aye.
Roby.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Call a special. Well, man. You got any money?
Is it Pope Catholic?
Yeah.
The meeting's over, we gotta go.
Kick my brain. Brain there.